Hello, welcome to Maths with EJD. In this video, I'll be talking about bounded rationality, fairness, and reciprocity under behavioral game theory, which we started in the video before this, right? And so we've already said it there that behavioral game theory is considering how human behavior impacts regular games and thereby changing some of the expectations in such games. So, talking about bounded rationality, fairness, and reciprocity now, this is an overview. Bounded rationality, bounded rationality. We made mention of that a bit in the introductory video to behavioral game theory. Bounded rationality refers to refers to the idea that individuals are limited in their ability to process information. Of course, there's information overload in our days, right? So it may be difficult to process information and make decisions, while fairness and reciprocity, while fairness and reciprocity highlight the importance of social preferences in decision making. Of course, fairness is about, making sure you do not get advantage over other people, unfair advantage for that matter. And of course, reciprocity is the basic idea that, if someone has been nice to you, you want to be nice to them too. So let's focus a bit more on the concepts. The key concepts here, of course, they have been listed already. Bounded rationality. Okay. So Players make decisions that are satisfactory, just satisfactory rather than optimal, right? They just make okay decisions that are not possibly that are not necessarily the best. Players make decisions that are satisfactory rather than optimal, rather than optimal, due to cognitive limitations. Okay, that's the idea of bounded rationality. And then we have fairness. So fairness, here people prefer outcomes. We prefer outcomes where resources, where resources are distributed equitably. So we saw this a lot under cooperative game theory. People prefer outcomes where resources are distributed equitably, even even if it means receiving less, even if it means receiving less than the maximum possible payoff. So, you know, people can make do with less than what they should really get just to ensure that there's fairness in the game they are playing. And then there's the idea of reciprocity. So for reciprocity, right, players are more likely to cooperate if they believe if they believe their counterparts will reciprocate the gesture. If they believe their counterpart will reciprocate, and they may punish, they may punish those who defect. So in Nigerian parlance, we call this "do me, I do you." In fact, they say God no go vex. So that's that. I mean, that's one thing in society that happens a lot. If you're nice to people, there's every possibility that they are nice to you. Not guaranteed, but there's a higher possibility that people are nice to you if you're nice to them. Okay, so let's talk about um an example. Uh, let's look at the ultimatum game to drive home this point of bounded rationality, fairness, and reciprocity. Let's look at the ultimatum game. So here we have that one player, call that player the proposer. One player called the proposer offers a division, offers a division of a sum of money, say $100. Think, in fact, we've done something close to this under, um, you know, uh, extensive form game form or something like that, where we're talking about game trees and all of that. So one player, the proposer offers a division of a sum of money, say $100, to another player who we can call the responder. Okay. So then we have that the responder can accept or reject the offer. Okay. If accepted, the money is divided. The money is divided according to the proposal. On the other hand, if rejected, neither player gets anything. Okay. So they both lose if the responder rejects the proposal's offer. Now, in traditional game theory, what happens in this situation? Um, so traditional theory, traditional theory would predict that the proposer should offer should offer the minimum, of course, based on human greed and things like that, right? The proposer would offer the minimum possible amount, which is better than zero. That is, say, $1, all right? And the responder should accept, the responder should accept. That's what the traditional game theory will tell us. So the responder should accept any non-zero offer. So as far as it is not zero, any non-zero offer. Of course, the options are that the responder rejects or accepts. If the responder accepts, then the sharing proposed by the proposer will be accepted. If not, they both get zero. So the responder would rather get even $1 instead of nothing, right? And the responder should accept any non-zero offer. So that's what the traditional we should expect from the traditional theory. But here we are talking about human behavior, right? We are talking about behavioral game theory. So, however, okay, however, the experiment, however, experiments rather, however, experiments show that responder, experiments show that responder often rejects offers, okay, often rejects offers perceived as unfair, okay, often perceived as unfair, okay, e.g., $1 out of $100. That is clearly unfair, right? So instead of the traditional game that predicts that, oh, the responder would take the $1 offer instead of zero. So for the sake, so people would rather turn down the offer than accept it because it is actually a ridiculous one. So preferring 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 to punish, yeah, preferring to instead of the for preferring to punish the proposer, the punish the proposer, despite not gaining anything themselves. But of course, the proposer will lose more, right? Proposer will go home with zero instead of the 99 they are proposing. Preferring to punish the proposer despite not gaining anything themselves. Okay. So this behavior, so the behavior in this case now, this behavior is driven, this behavior is driven by fairness concerns and the desire for reciprocity. So instead of allowing the proposer to go home with $99, I mean, it would rather forfeit their own $1 and make the proposer also lose their $99. Now, let me do game three to show what this is about, right? So normally, right, proposer, you have the proposer here, offering two options. I mean, okay, the proposer can choose to be fair, right? The proposer can choose to be fair and do 50-50. Okay. So this is fair. But most likely the proposer will choose to be unfair and offer uh so the proposer gets 99 and the responder gets one. Okay, I guess I want to okay, let me just add the dollars. Okay. And the responder gets one. So okay, I shouldn't even do this. This is what I meant to do. Okay. Yeah. So um so the proposer can choose to be fair, right? By going 50-50. And the proposer can also choose to go unfair. Now, if the proposer an unfair is 99-1, right? So, but if they go unfair, right, the responder, the responder can either accept or reject. So this is accept. If they accept, the proposer gets 99 and they get one. If they reject, they both get zero. Okay. So traditional game. So in fact, let me name this traditional game, right? Um, so let's call this traditional, traditional, uh, solution, or let's say traditional game, game theory, traditional game theory expectation. I think that would be good. Traditional game theory expectation. So the traditional game theory expectation is that if the proposer offers an unfair sharing formula, which is 99-1, okay, the responder Okay, the responder can accept or reject. Okay. So if the responder rejects, they both go home with zero. But naturally, you're expecting the responder would a rational person, right, would think, okay, I mean, it's better to get one than to get zero. So instead of rejecting the offer, then they will accept it. So this is what is expected normally in a traditional game theory situation. But guess what? That is what is rationally possible. But then imagine what happens in behavioral game theory expectation, behavioral game theory expectation. So you have, in this case, you have the proposer who could normally go fair and do 50-50, but then chooses to go unfair, okay, and do 99-1. But then the responder also has options, and the options are to either accept and get one out of 100, or reject and get 0-0. Now, because fairness is coming to play here, right? The responder, okay, of course, the proposer has gone as is unfair already. Okay, the responder now has options to either accept or reject. Traditionally, they should accept because one is better than zero. But even in carrying out the experiment, people would rather go for fairness than accept an unreasonable offer. So they would rather reject the offer and lose one to make the proposal lose 99 than to accept one and allow them gain 99. So by rejecting, right, they punish the proposer even at their own detriment themselves. So that's the idea of behavioral game theory. So things don't always go as expected because no, it's rational that one is better than zero. But for the sake of fairness, zero can be better than one because it will make the proposal lose more compared to the responder, and that's basically the idea. And just like we said, right, this behavior is driven by fairness concerns and the desire for reciprocity. So if you bring a very unreasonable offer, there's every likelihood that I'll also be unreasonable instead of accepting and even gain. I would rather lose than make and lose. I would rather be unreasonable too, and I mean, get nothing at the end of the day. So that's basically the idea here. So in the next video, we still have other concepts related to the behavioral game theory, and that will be about behavioral biases like loss aversion and overconfidence. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, you want to do that right away and hit the notification bell so you can always get alerted each time a new video is released. You also want to comment and let me know how helpful these videos have been to you, or if you want to teach a topic or solve a problem. And like and share also so that more people can have access to this great content. Till I come your way again, keep playing the game of life with wisdom. Bye.